go. Our Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 6, Episode 1. I'm Brian the Commish, down here in the bunker with the greatest co-host in the business and the owner of Born to Run. Walt is here. Walt, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. The feeling's mutual.
All right. We have a great show for those of you who may be watching or listening for the first time. This is the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast. This is B-Town Action Reality Fantasy Football, which we affectionately refer to as BARFF. We're going to talk about all things fantasy football through the lens of our favorite league, BARFF. All right, and we are here tonight to talk about draft recap and Season 1 results and a little bit of waiver wire drama.
A lot of
today.
activity, right?
A lot of activity,
yeah.
For sure. All right, well, let's take a look at the draft, if we could.
Oh, please.
And let's go over to here.
Before we go there, I want to thank you for such a great intro. I have another revelation. I would like that played if I have a wake. I'll stay looping video. That would really be nice.
Yeah, let's
have that.
Let's do that. Let's just play
along with our ashes in the BARFF Hall of Fame.
100%.
Like this, that would be amazing.
All right. I want to remind everyone that the phone lines and the chat are open, and we're going to jump into talking about the draft. Draft took place roughly 10 days ago.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's week 2 already.
100%.
Like the season flies by, but we'll get to that later. Let's get the draft up on the screen. We've got round 1 did or did not go as you expected it to.
Oh, I think for the most part, round 1, other than, was Jefferson going to go before Gibbs, that kind of jockeying. But other than that, I mean, I think it went by the book, honestly.
Yeah. I figured that the players that went were going to go. There was one that threw me for a loop.
Which was?
It was Jonathan Taylor going 7th. And the only reason, I have no problem with Jonathan Taylor going 7th. The problem for me was that I was going to take Jonathan Taylor at the turn at the top of the second round. In all the practice drafts that I had done, that he was going to be available there. And then when he wasn't, I had first round, top of the second round panic about what to do. But that was the only unexplained situation that I had.
Yeah.
Before we go into any further round 1 discussion, we're being joined on the line by the owner of Sody Pant Loads. Kyle is here. Kyle, how are you?
Doing great, Commish. Another year in paradise in BARFF.
I love it. It is another year in paradise. Also joining us on the line, the owner of Soaring Eagles. Jordan's on the line. Jordan, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. What an intro that was. Oh, my God.
See? I wasn't lying, right?
Yeah, that's a draft. That's something that we're playing with. We're going to maybe change it up every week. But, that's a new season, new beginnings all over the place. Down here in the bunker, even the bunker has changed. Hopefully you guys will see it when you come in the studio. All right, so what we were talking about round 1, I had expressed a little bit of surprise that Jonathan Taylor went only because it screwed up my plans. Anything else in the first couple of rounds that you saw?
No, but, who would be the owner to kind of maybe go off script? Of course, it was Huey, right? And I got to say, Huey does what Huey does. If he likes a guy, he doesn't care if that's, what the ESPN says where you should draft him.
I don't think that Huey looks at any experts because Huey is his own expert and his results speak for themselves.
That's right. You can't criticize him when it comes to that.
All right, joining us also on this first episode of Season 6.
Who else we have?
We have the owner of Boston Beans, Ant, is on the line. Ant, can you hear us?
What's going on, fellas?
All right. I love it. We just started discussing the draft. So, Kyle, when you look at, let's take the first 3 rounds of the draft. Was there any picks in the first 3 rounds that surprised you or that you thought were a reach?
I honestly, usually the first round of BARFF is I feel like we kind of go off the rails a little bit. But I do feel like this year, it went kind of like what ESPN predicted. Like, there wasn't anything too crazy in the first round. I don't know. I feel like maybe Jalen Hurts went a little early, Beans, but other than that, he started the QB run.
Really?
I think other than that, I don't know. I think it went.
I was Bo Nix.
Hey, I'm a believer, baby.
Oh boy.
Jordan, same question. Anything surprise you in the first 3 rounds of this draft?
Jonathan Taylor, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Hurts went early, but it's round 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be there when you get back.
Exactly.
So I think I would always say Tyreek Hill went early. I saw massive red flags. I would have thought he would drop farther than the 3rd.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Yep, I agree.
Other than that,
What about Kyron Williams? Anyone feel that was at number 23?
Yeah, I don't have a
worst
problem
team
with that
ever.
pick. Yeah, because
Okay.
if you look at the running backs that had gone off gone off the block at that point, it's time to start grabbing.
Yeah, he was kind of handcuffed there.
Yeah, no, he was, and I don't disagree, but I don't know. Kyron Williams, I'm just not sold. I don't know what he did last week, so I might have to eat my words.
Yeah, I'd have to
He
look.
had 13.
Yeah, okay. So nothing wrong with that.
If you don't take Kyron Williams there,
You get nothing coming back.
Chase Brown came off the board,
Right,
so you're looking at Rookie City, which is where I was in, or you're pulling Chuba Hubbard, maybe Kenneth Walker, where Jordan got him in round 4. That's a pretty quality
Kamara
pick.
too, not
Good value.
Yeah,
Kamara, I always think he's
poo-poos
done,
up. Yeah.
and then he blows up. So
it's like Derrick Henry, and then I watch him, and I'm like, oh yeah, good call. The guy hasn't lost a step.
right.
It's
He's just trucking people.
He's a different animal.
He is
altogether.
And first 3 rounds of the draft, anything surprise you?
Honestly, no. Personally, for myself, I didn't see myself getting A.J. Brown and running back the same team from last year, but I'm all right with it.
Yep.
I did want Jonathan Taylor, though. He was looking to get him at 1-2 turn, maybe.
Yeah, I was just saying that before you jumped on the line, my strategy was to get either Malik Neighbors or Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then take Jonathan Taylor at the top of the second. I was all the practice drafts I had done had him available, and then he was gone. And that Kamish was freaking out going into round 2, but we'll see if it worked out.
Yeah, it's a good move by Huey then, right? Because the way both you guys are talking, we never saw him coming back. So if that's the guy you wanted, that was the right time to take him.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, so some good drafting. Walt, in your opinion, what was the biggest reach of the draft?
Wow, biggest reach. So I don't, I got to tell you, and again, I'm going to regret it, but rounds 5 and 6, Huey, a couple of picks there, I was looking at them, and Breece Hall, and again, you're round 5 or 6, but Cooper Kupp to me,
I know it's hard.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
I think owners in Fantasyland are either convinced that he's washed, or there's some that still have the faith.
Right.
So we'll see. We're gonna have to. I don't remember what he did last week. We'll talk about week 1 in a few minutes, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on those. Taking him before DK Metcalf, who's the clear number 1 in Pittsburgh, that's a little tough for me.
Exactly, and even Cortland Sutton, although Kyle kind of gets some falls to him, which is not. No, I tell you, I thought the guy was a boat anchor last year until Bo Nix gets in there and he revives his whole career.
Yeah.
I mean, he was super solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you had him, right?
I did.
Yeah, he was money, right?
He was great. He saved my season for what that was.
Right. So I agree. You could have had him or a couple of the other guys.
Sure.
And you take Kupp. But
Kyle, biggest reach in your opinion in the draft?
I'd say, I mean, again, another thing, everything can come by you, but I think Ket McMillan went a little early, round 5.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he's got the hype, but Bryce Young still might stink, so we'll kind of have to, hinges on that.
Right.
I think you can take the word "might" out of it.
That offense is definitely struggling, so it's hard to put that faith in them.
Exactly. Now that's a good call because I was looking at that one as well.
Jordan, who reached? What was your biggest reach of the draft?
The biggest reach of the draft was Zachary Charbonnet. Frickin' Tom decided to take him out from under my grasp because while there were starting wide receivers available, and just takes a pick to screw me around before I was going to take him.
This is not the grievance section of our show.
Oh, that's later?
Yes, that's
yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure that's so much the biggest reach as the pick that upset you the most.
Biggest grievance. We'll nominate that
Such
as
a difference.
yeah.
Ant, in your opinion, was there a big reach in this draft?
Honestly, I haven't looked at the draft too much.
I got you. I hear you.
It's okay to say A.J. Brown, Tony.
No, that's the end of round 2 for AJ Brown. That's real good for the Bills.
Bo Nix was a reach.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Not a believer?
Hold on. Tua in round 16, also a reach.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna echo what Walt said earlier. Tyreek Hill going in round 3 for me. I think that's too much value for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone is fired up about him going into the season. Really, I mean, it could be proven wrong. The whole Miami machine seems to be breaking down, though. I hate to say that, Ant, but.
Well,
no, it's all right. I'm off the wagon. The only Miami guy you can trust is Achan.
Yeah, the wagon's got a broken wheel for sure. Yeah, and the funny part after we drafted, I saw Tyreek Hill has been the Dolphins captain for the last amount of years, and this year he wasn't even named the captain. So that's a pretty clear sign.
Well, last game of the last year, he said he wanted out.
He did, and then he took himself out of the game.
Yeah,
and then you come back to that locker room. I don't know how you have the courage to do that, to be honest with you.
But hey, maybe that means come trade deadline they move him, and that could end up being an awesome pick.
Yeah, it's possible. I think definitely a change of scenery is required there for sure.
Reunite with the Chiefs, maybe.
Maybe.
They got wide receiver problems.
They have major wide receiver problems after Travis Kelce took out Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
So, well done, Travis. Well done. Unreal. All right, so that's we talked about surprises. We talked about biggest reach. Walt, in your opinion, who put together the best draft?
Wow. That's a really good one because, I mean, I was looking at a lot of teams. I think, and I just want to make sure before I speak, but I think I was kind of impressed with, hold on. Go ahead if you have one off the top of your head, but I just want to check.
I always think that the teams, when I look at them afterwards, that the teams look pretty formidable. Christian, I worry about no lineups take of Christian McCaffrey in the first round. I mean, it's a courageous pick, and he had a great week 1 for someone that was on the injury list. But I feel like fantasy leagues need to put out like Christian McCaffrey insurance policies where you pay the league a certain amount of money, and if Christian McCaffrey misses a game due to injury, you get 10 points added to your roster or something. Because I would not have been able to take him before the 4th round. He just scares me too much.
Yeah. So, okay. So, kind of I was going there as well. I thought his was pretty solid. I think Sodi, I thought, had a pretty good draft as well overall. Sure. I'm sure Kyle will be happy to weigh in on that one.
Kyle, you happy with your...
Huh?
I said Sox fan 7687 agrees too.
Yeah, well, shocking of it. But I think overall, when I looked at it, I could go to every team and say they have a weakness, and I would say that, like, I feel there's a ton of parity looking at the rosters in general. That I think we're gonna have. It's gonna be a battle to the who makes the playoffs because, like I said, every team's got a hole. I just think it's there's a lot of parity in this league now, and then I think just because everybody's gotten really good at drafting and researching, and
I mean, look at how many teams had a shot at the playoffs heading into the end of last year. So, Jordan, same question. Anyone have a great draft in your opinion? Anything stand out?
Looking right now, I do like to just speak to some teams I haven't been mentioned much. The Rifle put together a solid roster this year.
I agree. I agree.
Exception maybe of Tyreek, but he's got Hollywood in that 3rd slot. Debo, who I think Debo looked good this week.
Yeah.
So he's able to fill in that wide receiver slot if Tyreek ends up just stinking the bed the rest of the year.
Right.
So that team looks good. I like Sodi. I hate to say, I think I like worst team ever. Can't screw this up. Worst team ever. This is the year.
No, he's gonna hate that you said that. He's right now angrily yelling at the screen.
Yeah.
And I like Sodi too.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, worst team ever looked pretty solid, although he screwed it up and lost already this week 1. So he can't get out of his own way.
All right, let's talk about week 1 action.
What a week.
What a week it was. It was a really high quality week of games. The chat was a little quiet, but there were a lot of games that could have gone either way right down to the end, games that were separated by just a few points. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, we could talk about my game and Tony, and I think I out-Tony'd Tony because I was saying I got no chance. My team stinks. I wasn't even going to watch the game Monday because I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. And then next thing I know, we're in the fourth quarter, and I wanted to go to bed early because I had to get up at 5 a.m. and I'm hanging on the edge of my seat. It was unbelievable. And I'll let Tony comment. We both had disappointments from certain key players that way underperformed.
Yeah.
So that kind of skewed, I think, the scores a little. But yeah, that fact that it came down to DeAndre Monday night, and
there was some excitement.
I was like,
absolutely,
it was, and and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bullshit. I'm stayed up all night, and he's gonna get some, pass in the flat and go for 20 yards, and I'm gonna lose.
And as I scroll a little bit so that we see, this new keypad's killing me, so that we see the beautiful logo that you put together, tell us about your game. This was a 104.3 to 102.9 heartbreaking loss for the Beans, losing to Born to Run, falling to 0-1. What was the story of the game for you?
It was just the receivers not putting up what they were supposed to. I mean, but I feel like this happened to a lot of people. Like, I saw that, like, Amon-Ra didn't get much.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brian Thomas didn't get much. A.J. Brown, Chase didn't get much. So it sucks when your two house wide receivers don't do anything, and then you got to rely on DeAndre Swift on a Monday night. But, man, you can't out-Tony me. I already turned the game off as soon as I turned it on.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're right. I got no argument then.
Beans is basically if WTE won a championship. Beans is a winning WTE.
All right. I don't know that we want to belabor this one. It was a squeaker, and Born to Run comes out on top.
Yeah, it's just everybody knows it's hard to get a win in this league, and anyone you can get, you're just like so happy for it. So I was thrilled to
get. And the Beans
get
going
by.
to week 2 knowing that Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown aren't going to combine for 7 points in the future.
The fact
we've already hit rock bottom, nowhere to go but up.
No, I mean Chase 4.6. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, not in a million years.
That was a weird game against
the
Browns defense that I just didn't see that Browns defense coming unless Cincinnati really had an off day. That Browns defense showed some teeth.
Yeah. Tony, the funny part is our defenses were like, in the top 3 of our scorers, like both of ours. It's just, that's how crazy of a week it was.
All right, so that was a 104.3 to 102.9 victory for Born to Run over Boston Beans. Where do you want to go next?
Let's look at the Moppers defending their crown. Just dusted the floor with worst team ever.
In style.
Yeah.
The Whopper Moppers win this one 134.9 to 91.95 over worst team ever. A little bit of a power outage for WTE, and they fall hard. Tell me about this game, Walt.
I mean, I think people know how I feel about T. Higgins. T. Higgins is not a guy I'm putting in my lineup. 1, he's going to get hurt. 2, he'll underperform. Then you bench him, he'll get like 40 points. Like, I'm telling you, you're dooming yourself to not making the playoffs having T. Higgins on your roster. So, I mean, look at 6.3 and, Mark Andrews. But I don't know, if you really – are you at the point where you think Mark Andrews is like a must-start tight end now at this point in his career?
I mean, everyone in Baltimore was talking about how he's still their guy, and you expect him to – he had a rough end of the season, a really high-profile flame-out. But, do I see him as elite? I mean, we'll see what the next couple of weeks do. You put up a 1.5. That's hard to come back from.
Exactly. And then, flip the this could be an early candidate for maybe, I think, kind of steal the draft. Marvin Harrison Jr., one looks way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hitting the weight room. He looked good. Kyler Murray was looking for him. Like, that his receivers, if Harrison's really good,
Yeah.
you got, Nakua, Collins, and Marvin Harrison. Ouch. So now looking at this, the Moppers might be the team to beat when it's all said and done. Really good week. Awesome output. So, yeah, well-deserved victory.
Jordan, when you look at this game, Pat Mahomes gets 28.6. I had him last year, and I can tell you 28.6 was like a unicorn. But does this continue for Patrick Mahomes? Is he going to be that player at the top of Whopper Moppers lineup that's going to get him consistent points?
I do think the Chiefs, I forget when exactly last year Pacheco got hurt, but, they seem to have just realized that they don't really have a run game. So I think they're going to go back to kind of being pass-heavy Chiefs of the past and scoring points. So I think Mahomes is going to have a good year. I think last year was kind of a fluke.
All right. So that is starting the season the way that you want. Really, I mean, we alluded to it.
It's a statement.
That's a statement game. But when you look at these scores, I think fantasy-wise overall, Ant brought it up, like there weren't a lot of people going crazy with points. Like 134 was our week's high score, and usually when we're talking about week's high score, we've got people in the 150s, 160s, 170s.
Yep.
So we'll see. Maybe just a down as every team starts hitting their stride. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about Sodi. A nice squeaker that he got by the rifle.
He does get by the rifle 100.4 points to 99.95 for a 0.5 swing.
Huge victory.
That is a huge victory. Kyle, tell us about your squeaker over the rifle this week.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Going into Sunday night, I was like, okay, I think I was up 33. He had Jefferson. I had Ravens D, and he had the kicker. I was like, all right, defense cancel kicker. Jefferson needs 33. And then Ravens D got -6. Who was it? Prater got 12.
Yeah.
So Jefferson only needed that 15. And honestly, I'm like, Jefferson, one touchdown, it's over. He got the one touchdown, but somehow J.J. McCarthy only threw to him one more after that. And I saw the play. I knew he needed one catch for 11 yards. I'm like, I don't know if that was 10 or 11. And then I saw ESPN update. It was only a 10-yard catch. So I was freaking out in bed. I think I was stressing out my girlfriend, but hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, those are the type of games when you're on the edge of your seat, just knowing that 1 10-yard reception is gonna knife your week for you. That's not great.
Yeah, you're trying to do that math in your head. It's like, where is it? Was it 9? Was it 8 yards? You just that's brutal. Trying to figure that out.
And we brought up Bo Nix earlier in the conversation. You seem to have a little bit of derision. He puts up 8.6 points this week. Is this something that's going to continue in the future, or is this an anomaly for Bo Nix?
8 points is not bad for Bo Nix.
Oh, okay.
Bo Nix, we'll get the number for the show posted at some point if you want to respond to that in the future. But I tell you, if you're going to get 8.6 points from your quarterback, you love to do it on this absolutely insanely low week from Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Burrow 9 points. I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that. And honestly, other than that, and Tyreek Hill, but I don't know if anyone really thought he was going to do a ton. Yeah. He had a pretty good week, though, Rifle.
Yeah.
That underperformance really did him in.
He did, yeah. You're not going to expect 9 points from Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and the Eagles D, also 2 points.
Yep.
That's not why they had them. So, we'll see. It's rebound time for the Rifle.
I know Tony's used to Tua, but at Sodi, Bo Nix on a short leash. There's a QB controversy, I think, brewing.
We just dumped our captain over at Boston Beans.
Yeah, that's a statement.
He's right. I'm never gonna out Tony, right? So yeah,
he
I don't know why I thought that.
He definitely seems to have discipline issues under control over at Beansland for sure. You screw up, you're out. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about maybe he wants to air some of his grievances. Soren against Huey.
Soren Eagles take on Huey Lewis in the news. There's already grievances going on. This was a 126.6 to 129.9, 0.3 or 3.3 point spread for Huey Lewis in the news in their victory over Soren Eagles. Jordan, tell us about your game.
Did anybody do the math? Did I lose on the last play again?
I think Sodi said you did.
Had yards.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I thought
so.
Yeah.
The defense got the fumble points. Yeah.
Yeah.
So classic start for Soren. I have way worse luck than worst team ever, unfortunately. But I'm not freaking out because, my team didn't have what I would call power outages. Everybody kind of did, slightly worse than I'd expect from them. But, I still put up 126 points, and I'm not too disappointed. I like what I saw from some guys. So, I'm taking it in stride.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, with what's going on in Miami, which I don't know that Mike McDaniel survives past week 10 if this continues.
Yeah.
It seems like there is a complete meltdown in that locker room.
I agree.
But to get 16.5 out of Devon Achane when that situation is happening, I think you have to have a little optimism there.
Yeah, and I mean, I also get someone new.
All right, let's merge this call. All right, joining us on the line just in time because we haven't discussed his game. Or did we discuss his game? No, we have not.
Is it no lineup?
It is the owner of Worst Team Ever. Tyler's on the line. Tyler, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I just have one thing to say. Gort said he has worse luck than Worst Team Ever.
I
worst
knew
team
that
ever.
was...
3 wide receivers go out with injuries week 1. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I've seen that coming.
And he's gone.
Wow.
Worst Team Ever just jumped in to fire that rocket.
Gotta
and
love
jumped out.
that.
Yeah, I respect that move. That's a pretty good move.
Eeyore's got to get his say.
Is he already gone?
Yeah.
He's already gone.
His bride cracked the whip. He's got his party favors to get together.
Oh, he's got a welcome sign he's got to work on.
All right. Kyle, Huey Lewis takes Justin Herbert, who is an elite talent, but playing for Jim Harbaugh kind of puts the ceiling low for a quarterback, and he responds with that. And say he's just slinging it all over the field, 32.1 fantasy points scored. Is this something that Huey's going to be able to accept or expect from Justin Herbert moving forward, or was this an anomaly?
I don't know. That's tough. Oh man, I guess Ty's bride's listening to the pod. I just got a text. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know.
That one's good, man.
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I know Huey was loving that move. I think he picked Herbert up like a half hour before the game. He's being humble, but I know he was sitting there loving that he did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see Jim Harbaugh loves to run. I don't see that being like the norm for the year. I think he'll probably come back to reality a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Justin Herbert?
I don't know. Right. Normally, I was thinking the same thing, but, I watched that game and I think they're going to throw more off of play action now. I saw that and I think maybe he feels to get to the next level, he's got to take the handcuffs off of Herbert and let him.
Everyone's going to load up against the Chargers. Everyone's going to load up for the run.
Right.
So, let that guy sling it.
So, I thought that last year Herbert was going to be good. So, maybe it was just a year off.
Just a year off.
Right, yeah, that's all. So, no, I don't know. I definitely – that's something to watch over the next few weeks to see if he regresses and they're more run-heavy. But, I don't know. It just seemed like play action is going to be a big thing for him.
I would think so. If they can get that rookie going, Marion Hampton, then that's dangerous. They've got receivers. Keenan Allen looked great in his return to the Chargers.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. I did not draft him. I had the opportunity to, and as soon as I passed him over, I was like, I think that was a mistake. And it was a mistake.
Another guy I thought was too old 3 years ago. So I am not good assessing a guy's age and what is.
He stepped right in, and then
he looked like he never missed a beat. It was crazy.
He never left at all. It's crazy.
I know.
So we had Ant before you joined us. I believe we had a discussion about Cooper Kupp and whether or not Cooper Kupp was pretty much done and was he overdrafted. He puts up 3.5 points this week for Huey. The question will go to you: is Cooper Kupp, was he overdrafted, and does he have anything left in the tank?
I don't think he was overdrafted. I think he'll eventually get some points and be the kind of Cooper Kupp that people expected the past couple of years. So I don't hate it.
All right, yeah. I mean, he could step in for that Tyler Lockett role for sure.
Yeah,
they've got
definitely.
Jackson Smith, Njigba, and he's going to be the number one for sure. And Cooper Kupp can, do what he does, work the slot.
He's the complement, but you got Sam Darnold, so
yeah.
I am not sold on Mr. Sam Darnold.
You take that 1 year, turn it into something, turn it into some money. Is what you do.
He sure did.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in that either. All right, did we cover?
Nope, we got your game.
No, good.
No lineup.
Good Lord, no lineup. And
What another very exciting game.
this was a 116.05 to 111.55 squeaker. Knuckleheads pick up the victory. Walt, what did you see when you were looking at this one?
Well, I think, you took Mayfield and you got what you took, like a very solid top 5 fantasy quarterback for sure, which was great. I think Neighbors was maybe thought a little more, but still, St. Brown underperformed. Warren, I think, overperformed, which was great. Zay Flowers was through the roof. So, overall, I think you had a, really solid week. And on the other side, I think, what was really the killer, again, Lamar Jackson had 31. Great, but he had Pickens in the lineup. And that was a bit of the roll of the dice there because,
it shouldn't have been, but Dallas made it.
100%.
I cannot understand how George Pickens gets 3 targets with the offense struggling the way it was.
Yeah, and not, and there was a couple flags when they went deep on them.
Sure.
So, but see, I'm with you. I just think that was a killer, and I think a few of us fell. I think Tony can comment, and we all fell into we wanted to watch one of our guys on Thursday night. I wasn't even going to start Dak. I really wasn't. But I want to watch somebody on opening night.
That is fun.
Didn't you do that, Kyle? Did you start someone? Someone I know did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I started Devonta Smith just because I want
Right.
something to do
See?
Thursday.
Right. See? Exactly. We all fell in that
I did it
trap.
for sport.
Yeah, and he that's another player that was a ridiculous underusage of, and another player in this team that got completely underutilized. Talking about Pickens, it was. I'll talk about the Dallas offense as a whole. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. It should be pick your poison. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott, as you well know, you felt the pain. He threw the ball 19 times.
Yeah.
19 times they're leaning on the run with an unproven commodity, although I think
Kyle would argue with both of us, being a former Bronco. There.
He looked really good, but how are you handcuffing your offense like that, playing as though you're ahead? It makes no sense.
100%. No, again, they looked better. I'm biased, obviously, but I still agree with you. I don't know. You got those 2 weapons, and the Eagles' secondary looked like it was kind of leaky.
They didn't have to.
I would have stretched it, right?
They didn't have to do too much.
Yeah,
19 times they had to do something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not good. We'll see what's ahead in Dallas. Dallas and Miami, some interesting situations. A lot of talent and not a lot of people being used right.
Were you surprised of Zay Flowers? Although I feel he was an emerging star towards the end of last year.
He was. And I did a bunch of research this year, and people were basically saying, get Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
And so when I had the opportunity to do so, I did. That's another team that everyone's going to be playing play run. And Lamar Jackson is a quarterback. He can throw the ball. He's got good accuracy.
A couple of ridiculous throws. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
If they want to keep underselling this offense, then we'll get the benefit for it. Jordan, Walt mentioned that he was surprised that Tyler Warren went 14.9, but he got 14.9 because Danny Dimes was slinging it all over the field.
And newest member of Born to Run on there.
I saw that.
Yeah, okay.
I saw that. So he's not only multiple touchdown throws, he ran in a couple. Is this week 1 excitement for Danny Dimes? Was Born to Run correct in picking him up on the waiver wire?
I have no stats to back this up, but for some reason I've always been a Danny Dimes believer. He's good on his feet. Nothing he does is really egregious.
Yeah.
You can find some clips of him on the Giants and maybe missing somebody bad or doing something stupid, but it's just because the offense has always sucked on those teams.
Yeah, he's never really had a line.
Tyler Warren's a talent. Michael Pittman is still a talent. And then, they got Josh Downs, Alex Pierce, some deep threats, and, I think that offense is going to roll this year, especially if they still Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I think Danny Dimes is in a good environment, and I think he's going to keep producing.
He's got the line's good. He's got all the elements he didn't have with the Giants.
Yep. He's got weapons in that wide receiver room. More
time
than
to throw
one.
him.
He's got time, which is really important. So, Good for them. Good for them.
He might get plugged into the starting lineup this week.
He certainly has earned a start.
I'm fully considering it.
That would be the.
Would that be something?
We'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah.
All right, so week 1 is in the books, and gentlemen, we talked about it a little bit early. This show, the first show, is always a lot of fun, mostly because I'm trying to see if everything's working, which I hope it is. But we're already going to start. We're going to talk about it next. We're already into week 2.
Yeah.
How does this happen? Like BARFF we get 17 weeks of it, and it seems to just fly by already into week 2. Kyle, does it seem like we're we should be already done with draft and week 1 already?
Yeah, like these are my favorite weeks of BARFF. Obviously, if you make playoffs, well, I don't even know if those are fun. It's kind of just heart attack watch. But these are fun because like everyone has faith in their team. Like,
right.
Just football overload. Like even if you lose the first 2 weeks, like okay, I still got a chance.
Yep.
You're seeing how these guys you pick turn out.
Yeah.
Whereas like later in the season, you maybe like start to realize, for example, that like I don't know, like Danny Dimes isn't the guy, and it gets a little sad. So these are definitely
and
the best 2 weeks of BARFF,
and the playoffs are like so stressful. So I agree with you. The first few are a lot of optimism. You feel good, even if you lose. You're like, okay, I can fix this.
Ant, do you think an owner ever comes out of a draft really thinking like, wow, I completely screwed that up and my team sucks?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I've
done that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure. I heard Tony leave.
That 1 year mid-draft, I was just screaming, no!
Yeah, he's right.
He picked the 2 Tampa running backs or whatever.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember them saying it.
All right. Yeah. I guess I was going to go with this as a time for optimism for everyone, but you make a great point. I guess it's not the case. All right, let's look at week 2 games that we have coming up in our BARFF league.
We got some very interesting matchups.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
So let's talk the game of brotherly love.
There we go. Sody Pantloads taking on worst team ever. Walt, you've got some experience with these owners.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a slim line. It's a 5-point advantage to Sody according to projections. Who do you got here?
Well, what I got is I know what's going to happen. Tyler he'll still come out strong, then Kyle will start leading, and then Tyler quits. So that's pretty much my projection for week 2. So, but I honestly, this is going to be really a very close game. I mean, I like CD against the Giants. That's a nice matchup. I don't hate. He's questionable, so I don't know. Drake London, but he's got some. He's sticking with Daniels against Green Bay. Kyle and I were talking, like, Green Bay's D looks pretty formidable, in my opinion.
Yep.
But, I think Bucky against Houston, that's a tough matchup. But overall, Chase Brown, I think, is going to have a really nice day against Jacksonville. So I like Kyle's matchup slightly better. So I agree. I give him a slight edge.
All right, Kyle, what do you think? Taking on worst team ever? Maybe they'll jump on and respond to any comments that you might make.
Before the season, I wish I pulled like an Alabama, how they pay to play UMass like a certain week. I wish I did that, where I pay to play Ty the week of his wedding, because that would have been so funny. Like rehearsal dinner, he's just stressing about whatever Thursday night game is. My team's putting up 30. But we'll take this week too. Like I agree with Walt, man. Like my matchups, Ty's running backs. They kind of stink. His receivers are good. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But like Monty, I know they're like splitting carries. I don't think that will really last. No. And I don't think I'm really bought in on Kyron Williams. Like Matthew Stafford's back is like destroyed. I think they might, kind of regress this year. So obviously, to shock to nobody, I'm taking Sody this week.
Sody picks Sody. Jordan, Monty, you're a big Monty fan. That's well known in BARFF. He had a good week last week. Do you think he's going to get his projection of 13.3? Are you over or under on Monty this week?
So 1 year I can't really love Monty. So who are they playing?
They're playing the Chicago Bears. Big rivalry.
I'm over on Monty. Yeah, they're gonna host to a win. They're gonna come out hard because they lost last week. And I think there's going to be a lot of carries split between the two. So I think it's going to be a good week for Monty. I also think it's going to be a good week for Gibbs.
Yeah, and I think, if I recall, like, historically, he's done well against his former team,
Sure.
Monty. So
Sure. Yeah.
I think Jordan's right. I think he'll be over.
Yeah, I think it'll be a game script thing. I agree with the over. I think they're going to pull away and then just start smashing Monty between the tackles, and then he's going to rack up a bunch of yards.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
But do you like Sodi or worst team ever, Jordan?
This will be the last thing before I hop off. Gotta eat a meal. So I'll say
I gotta eat a meal.
I'll say I lean Sodi insofar as I think Jaden Daniels is in trouble this week.
Yeah.
I think Micah Parsons is like gonna come off the high of I'm on a functioning team and we're looking good, and he's gonna eat Jaden Daniels up. So I'd be afraid if I was Ty. I think that's the one thing that's gonna lean it in Sodi's favor.
All right, thanks for calling in, Jordan. We appreciate you. Have a good night. All right, so do you have Micah Parsons spy Jaden Daniels if you're Green Bay?
I think so, but I just think it's interesting. Year 2, people get a better read on his tendencies and things like that.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just think Green Bay will spy him. They're going to force him to make throws. I got to say, I pulled Scary Terry out of my lineup.
Yeah.
Because I am not a believer tonight. I think it's going to be a rough night. And
I don't disagree with that. Ant, let's talk about the game first. Sodi versus, good Lord, worst team ever. Who do you got?
I got Sodi on this one.
All right.
I just don't like T. Higgins. I don't know if Drake London's playing.
Right.
Kyron Williams and Monty, kind of iffy. I'm not, tooting my horn about my running backs. They suck. But, yeah, I like Sodi's overall lineup better. His running backs are tanks.
Yep.
So, like the survivor pool, we all like Sodi. So, Kyle, I'm sorry you're going to lose this week because I think that
Higgins revenge game coming.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
All year.
It's we're almost dooming you. Daniels have 50 points. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't bench Bo Nix, because if you do that, he'll probably score 45 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Bench, so don't do that. All right. Where do you want to go next?
All right, where should we go next? Let's talk about the Moppers and the lineup.
Right, Whopper Moppers.
Another really
this
even
is about
game.
As squeaky as it gets.
Yep.
Right now, the projections have Whopper Moppers with a 0.5 point edge, 132.9 to 132.4. Do you think that this projection stands up for Whopper Moppers this week, Walt?
I think they're going to squeak it out. I think Nico's going to have a way better game, especially against Tampa. Jackson, Cleveland, like you said, Cleveland looked tough. Their D looked pretty tough. Lamar's Lamar. He's going to do good.
Sure.
But Genti against the Chargers, that's a kind of a tough matchup. I do like McConkey against Vegas, but Vegas looked decent against New England.
True.
So it's hard to know if it's that they were just inept or if they're better. And you got again McMillan. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on him, so that'll be interesting. But Harrison against Carolina, I like that. Nico against Tampa, love that matchup.
Yep.
Nakua against Tennessee, lovely. Hubbard against Arizona, and Mahomes against Philly, another good matchup. So I'm all in on the Moppers. If we were doing Survivor, he'd be my pick this week.
All right, yeah. Kyle, Whopper Moppers, no lineup.
I think the projections are getting it right. I think it's going to be super close. I think the only thing for no lineup, like Lamar and Njoku are playing against each other. That division, those games are always just disgusting. So I think maybe Lamar can only get 15. So I'll give the slight edge to Whopper, but I think it's going to be within 10-point differential.
Yep. Ant, who do you got in this one?
I also am leaning Moppers, but by very little. But I can hope for a tie.
One thing I'll say about no lineup is that falling to 0-2, 0-3 in a season is not unheard of for them. And then
that's a good point.
They work the middle of the season.
That's a really good point. He kind of corrects, and then last year, like you said, he went on a nice roll after he started off. I think we were wondering if we were going to have to write him off, but he righted the ship.
Yeah, he tends to do that. All right, where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about another family game. We got the Rifle and Huey.
The Rifle takes on Huey. Right now, the Rifle is projected to win 129.1 to 120, but we do not ever count out Huey Lewis in the news. Some good check marks on the rifle side, including, and I don't know if I can agree with this, including Joe Burrow being projected to have a great day against Jacksonville, which I get, but after what Justin Herbert did, and he's got the Raiders coming to town, I think that projection is low. What do you think, Walt?
Yeah, I do too. I again, we'll have to wait and see, but I agree with you on that. And J.J. McCarthy, I mean, he did all his damage basically in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can trust him, right? So I always worry about Jefferson's projections because of that. They're still projecting Tyreek at 14. He's done all right against New England. I don't know. I just gotta. It's really interesting. I overall though, I'm gonna say I actually like Connor's matchups. I think, like you said, Herbert's gonna do better than what's projected.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm leaning towards Huey.
All right, Ant, who you got in this one? Rifle versus Huey.
I got Rifle. I think Tyreek will finally get back to a little bit of Tyreek this next week, and he's got Jefferson, Kamara, Jacobs, Burrow. I mean, I don't know. I really like Rifle's team against Huey this week.
For the Patriots, is Christian Gonzalez playing?
Good question.
I don't think so. I think he'll be out until
so that's
week 6 maybe.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I think it's a longer one.
Yep. That
Could be
sure.
wrong.
No, I now that I'm thinking about it, I think that you're right, and I think that the other starting corner is also banged up.
Oof.
So that could mean good things for Tyreek.
Yeah, or Waddle. Maybe Waddle will be the guy too.
Yeah.
So I'd agree. Probably it's a good chance one or both have a decent day.
Right. Kyle, and I'm not at all dissing on this lineup because it won last week and it's looking very strong. But if you had said 3 years ago that you had a team that had 2 years ago, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, and Stephon Diggs, would you not automatically just assume that you were winning your league?
Yeah, I mean, that was even when Kyle Pitts was drafted, people still had faith in him. So
right. Yeah, exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, but I will give his 2 running backs this year. They are all on teams with good lines that are going to run the ball. Jets love to run the ball. Obviously, Derrick Henry didn't look like he lost a step. The Colts have a great O-line. So I feel like those 3 running backs will kind of make up for example, the Diggs in his lineup. Because Diggs, I think he's the Pats aren't that good.
Right.
He looked bad last week.
He did.
Yeah. I like his running backs though. I think those will win him some weeks, but overall this week, I like the Rifle.
Right.
I think he has kind of Joe Burrow. I think goes for 40 this week, just because he had a shitty week last week. So
yeah, that's a good point because I think he knows he's got to have a bounce back week this week. So that's a good point. And Drake May looked bad last week.
He did. He started off okay. I'm like, okay, yeah, and then towards the end, he was like, oh man, he's horrible.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs' value cannot hold up to shaky play from Drake May.
No, not at all.
Not great, but bodes well for the Rifle. We'll see what Huey does. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about the Eagles and the Beans.
All right.
Another projected close game.
This is another squeaker. Soaring Eagles taking on Boston Beans. Boston Beans is favored in this one, according to projections, 132.7 and 128.5. And let's start with you. How do you see this game going?
I'd like to think I take it. I think I do. I think Chase and Brown finally wake up. I might put a bet on Chase, Brown, and Evans getting a touchouchdown. They were quiet last week. I think they're going to go off this week.
I wouldn't bet against that.
I wouldn't be surprised if you get the triad, AJ, Chase, and Evans. All 3 of them get a touchdown this week. I think you do.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Kyle, when you look at Soaring Eagles taking on Boston Beans, who you got this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Beans too, because Chase.
Thanks, man.
Again.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, congrats on the new apartment. Anyways,
that's true.
I mean, we all 3 of us just said it. No way those 3 wide receivers have a week like they did last week. And I like Gord's team. We have a very similar setup, good running backs, okay wide receivers. But I don't love Keon Coleman against the Jets. That could be a 3-point day. So I'm gonna go Beans.
Yeah, I agree. And even Allen, again, a divisional opponent. Mm-hmm. Those are way tougher games. They know him well, and, so I agree with you on that, Kyle. Coleman and Allen, if they're more of an average performance.
So, do you believe in Keon Coleman being a number one guy for this Bills team? Do you believe in that, or is this not sustainable over the course of the season?
I don't see it because I think it's the hot hand is probably going to switch with Shakir, depending on the matchup, and so that
Yeah.
I think
We got Josh Palmer too now.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Yeah, and Josh Allen spreads the ball around.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think that there was a thing with him and Stephon Diggs. I think that Stephon Diggs wanted the ball all the time, and Josh Allen does not like to play that way, and that led to a parting of the ways in Buffalo. So
yeah, and Josh Allen wins MVP. No Diggs, whatever, because now, like you said, he's not constrained by having Diggs on his team.
Right. Yep. I'm sure there's voices in his head telling him, hey,
that
Diggs has to get a certain number of targets, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. And Jalen Hurts, man, that guy needs to get way more respect.
The most disrespected player probably in the NFL.
I think so now, for sure. So
everyone talks about Allen, of course, and Lamar Jackson, and well-deserved. But then it always drops to we'll talk about Joe Burrow. No one ever says, what about Jalen Hurts? Except for the Beans. The Beans drafted him at the top of the draft.
I love Hurts.
Yeah, I agree.
He can do it all.
He
does
can.
It all. Yep.
So, again, I just think another big game out of him. That's why I'm with everybody. I think the Beans are going to win this game.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm a little bit concerned. I talked up Devon Achon's performance for Soaring Eagles last week. I'm afraid of that Dolphins team right now, so I don't know that I would be counting on him. We'll see.
And I'm concerned with Jordan's well-being if he goes 0-2.
If he goes 0-2, it's not going to be good.
No,
it's not good. No, that's not good for
There might be trade offers already come week 3.
Well, there has been a lot of waiver activity, but we'll talk about that when we're done with the week. So what do we got left?
Our matchup.
All right.
The battle of the host.
Yes, it's the podcast matchup. Knuckleheads taking on Born to Run. Again, I think is this the second 0.5 squeaker? That's projected, 124.8 to 124.3. We can talk about this afterwards. Let's get Kyle starting us off. Knuckleheads taking on Born to Run. Who takes it this week?
Another one that the projections I think got it right. We'll say a couple scary things in WT. I'm so used to saying that. BTR lineup. Isaiah Pacheco. I don't know. He might be done.
No, you're very wrong about that. They're easing him in slowly, my friend.
And they had 10 weeks to do that last year. I don't know. And then James Williams. I wanted him in the draft. I did. I was targeting him, but after week 1, I'm not sure.
No, you can't go by it. The Lions were horrible.
I know, but I'm just I'm not sure if he was a product of Ben Johnson just being a good offensive coach, trying to work in his skill set. I don't know. It's scary. I'll say that with a new offensive coordinator.
But here, I'll give you my counter argument. They gave him a 3-year deal already. He was in a prove it kind of season. And they didn't waste no time. They signed him. I think it was a 3-year deal. So, whoever's making those believes he's not just a product. Right. I think a product of the system because you don't pay a guy like that.
Yeah, as a former number 1 pick.
Right. But you could be right, though. I could be. I'm not. I'm definitely not saying he could have a bust year. So I almost wish they didn't pay him. But.
And I do like Neighbors for commit. He pulled an AJ Brown and he was put on a stink on the sideline last week. So I think they're just gonna feed him the ball this week.
Yeah,
so I think I like him.
Isn't he on the injury report again?
He is, but he's going to be on there all year.
Yeah, he's one of those.
He's got a recurring back thing. He's got a recurring foot thing. They always put him on. They monitor him in practice, and then they put him out there. They don't have anyone on. They targeted him 12 times last week.
Yeah, and I'll just add in. No, go ahead. Let everyone else weigh in because I think I know.
Ant, who you got?
I've got you, Kamish. I think you had a quiet week from a lot of guys on your team and got carried by Zay Flowers. So I think you're gonna spread the wealth around and get some more points. And Walt, man, I'm with Bones here. I think Pacheco's cooked.
Well. Again, I'm putting up a good argument, But Sodi will tell you there was a trade offer for a running back earlier in the week. So I'm
not too confident.
That does show a lack of confidence.
It does. I don't want to say I'm 100% sold, but
it was at like 5 a.m. Tuesday too. So first I thought of that morning.
Yeah, he's not lying. But I almost had him. Other than just the players on the same team kind of didn't work out, but. We were almost there. I think at some point during the middle of the season, there'll be a trade.
It'll be one of those things like 10 years down the road, there'll be an article that was like, this guy was almost a pant load. You know how to do those? So,
yeah. Walt, what's your key to victory this week?
If Brock Bowers don't play, I do not like I'm pulling a Tony. Yeah. I do not like my chances at all. Bowers is not a tight end. He's like an advantage over other teams in a position for me. So, like, that's critical. And so, he's got, back, I think, or something with him.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so he doesn't go. I go to Bowers, and then it's Jake Ferguson's next guy up. I do not love that. Yeah. And just for spite, I'm starting Danny Dimes as well.
I mean, Dak right now is the 27th ranked quarterback in fantasy football. I'd start Danny Dimes too.
Not a great matchup against Denver. I don't love that.
Right. That's a tough D.
He's at home. I think his legs, he'll use his legs. So, and Dak can't run anymore. Like, Dak is useless with his legs.
They're gonna be rushing him hard, and we'll see. We'll see if they can get home. That's great. They might have a chance to keep the game close, but we'll see. It's a big if. Either way, I don't see Dak Prescott having a terrific game. I just don't know what's going on with them. They really should have. If they were gonna explode this week, I think we would have seen something different last week.
Yeah, so I'm with you. So what are your keys you think to victory for yourself?
I mean, the rookies, I'm riding the rookie train for running backs. They both looked decent last week.
Yep.
The biggest key for me is outside of a comeback from Amon-Ra with Detroit's offense. Trevion Henderson has a juicy matchup with Miami team that's falling apart on both sides of the ball. If he can over his 12.8 projection, I think that's my key to victory right there.
Yeah, and I think Neighbors against the Cowboys secondary, especially now we have no pass rush.
Right.
That's a pretty nice matchup as well.
Yeah. If Russell Wilson could throw some moon balls down the field. They did not throw deep at one time last week.
Yeah, no.
They got to open that up and start using Malik Neighbors the way that they're supposed to.
Or you put Dart in and call it a day, and it might be time.
Yeah, I hope that they don't do that in week 2, but they very well might. I think one way or the other, he at least gets on the field.
Yeah.
They said that they had a package of plays for him last week. So we'll see. Jackson Dart could have fantasy relevance heading into week 3. But we'll see. Only time will tell. All right, so that's week 2 recap, right? We hit everything?
We did.
And so outside of the great competitive team games that we had on the field, the waiver wire situation at roughly 3 a.m. this morning was equally as interesting and competitive. So let's take a look at the league activity. There was some really uncharacteristic work that went on from some owners. And I'm going to start off by saying that Huey threw 30 fab bucks at now I'm gonna lose it as I'm on the air here. Jordan ended up getting him. Oh, it was Quentin Johnston. He throws after. Correct me if I'm wrong. He did the entire season last year without spending $1.
That is correct. Not $1.
He goes hard. He launches a rocket for Quentin Johnston, and Jordan drops a $41 bomb on it. Kyle, when you look at that, did it surprise you that it was that competitive for Quentin Johnston?
Yeah, I think it's super surprising because same thing happened week 1 last year. I think he got like 22. He was still I know it was only by 1 or 2 targets, but he was still 3rd in targets on the team. And like I said, I don't think they're going to be that pass heavy the whole time. But hey, week 1, week 2 is when you got to spend that fob on some guy to go get your guy. So I get it, but I don't think I buy into Quentin Johnson.
Not quite, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So in addition to that one, Ant, what do you think? Born to Run spends 33 fob on Dylan Sampson, Cleveland running back.
Steal of the free agent pickups.
Let Ant weigh in first.
Now.
Excuse me, Ant. What do you think about that pickup for $33?
Hey, if want waltz them, let them have them.
Yeah,
I'm all for about spending the money.
all right.
It's like timeouts, right, Tony? Yeah, what are you going to
Yeah.
do? Leave them in your pocket? What are you going to leave the money,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So I did not look and see. Let me just check quickly the offers report for that transaction because I'm not sure.
Oh, I love you can see that.
Did anyone
I think he
else-
was the only one that put a bid on it.
Yeah, I think that you're right. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, $33. So it could have been competitive based on projections and what's going on in that backfield.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I'm surprised no one else bid.
Oh, actually, that's not true. Jordan bid $1,
Oh.
and Christian tried to get him for nothing.
Okay, so I was only $32 more.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
Yeah, but I saw this year I'm scouring, and they were saying he's definitely already established himself as the number one. He's a good receiving back too, and as we've discussed already with my backfield, I'm like, why not take a flyer? We said, spend that money.
Or you're gonna ride that Pacheco train.
Right.
And when you look at the overall transactions, was there anything that stuck out to you as a great move?
I like the move by Jordan this morning, picking up Ertz and dropping Najee.
I do too. I really like that pickup. Zach Ertz is reborn, and I think, especially in what is shaping up to be another not terrific year for tight ends. I mean, it's only been 1 week, but it seems like it's Brock Bowers and everybody else. I think that Tyler Warren is the third best
I agree.
performance. So,
100%.
So Zach Ertz seems to really be reborn. He's getting targets. He's getting used in the red zone, and they're relying on his leadership. I think he's in a good situation.
There's only one problem.
What's that?
Those targets means he's gonna get hurt at some point.
He could get
There's
hurt.
no doubt. There's another guy. I've picked him up many times, and 1 week after I pick him up, 2 weeks he gets hurt. So, hey, Tony, I'd like to hear why Michael Pence. And do you have the offers on him? I'm curious to see.
Take a look at Michael Pence. Michael Penix
It's
was
pronounced Michael Penix, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael Penix Jr. $30 ad for Ant, dropping Tua in the process, but that was the only bid for that player, and that surprises me. It surprises me that he was available. To be honest, I don't know why he wasn't drafted.
I was thinking about, but going into the draft, I actually told Tyler on the drive down, I was thinking of drafting him.
Yeah, he's got some talent around him.
Yeah.
He's got targets to throw. So I don't know. I think there's a little disrespect for it. Now, Ant, you might have the two most disrespected quarterbacks in the league on your roster.
That's all right.
See?
Walt, what was your pickup outside of yours? Who had the best pickup of the week?
I think with just the way, these pickups. So, I mean, if he doesn't get hurt, I think Ertz, I think that's a really solid pickup for nothing.
Yeah.
You're taking him off the bargain bin, and that's my only thing. Otherwise than that, I think that was a solid pickup because, like you said, if you can find a tight end that can give you, say, 15, that gives you a leg up on a lot of the other teams in our league.
Yeah, I agree. Looking at this, I can tell you what really stuck out to me today when I first looked, and I hadn't really looked until I saw Jordan's comment in the text thread. I like the Calvin Austin III pickup that Huey Lewis pulled off. That he looks like the clear two guy to DK, and he got a good amount of targets with a quarterback that's seems reborn.
Yep.
Kyle, do you believe in Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh right now?
Yeah, good point.
I actually do. Just because the Jets are one of those franchises that are like, it would just be so Jets if he went to a different team and played well. So I do like that pickup by Huey. He looked good last week, and I think they actually, even though it's Arthur Smith, I think they will throw a little bit more because it's Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I think he'll turn around.
Nice, yeah. I mean, it's a good story for him, especially against the Jets. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, he spread the ball around like crazy. And Calvin Austin III, I think, is a player that we might be talking about in a couple weeks. Like, there's another one that kind of slid under the radar.
Yeah, if it's Aaron Rodgers of old, I mean, he used to make some of those bums in Green Bay look pretty good.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
All right, so we this week, as in every week, half the teams won, half the teams lost. But we need to talk about the guillotine situation. I believe that we have 8 teams that said that they wanted to be in. I don't think that I heard from the Rifle, and I don't think I heard from Huey Lewis. So the whole deal with that is the lowest score each week from the participating teams is out. The guillotine falls this week, unfortunately, with the low scoring performance that he had. No lineup is our first victim of the guillotine.
Wow.
So week 1, we are already down to 7.
I gotta say, that's a nice guy to get out early.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is before those 140s, 150s start coming. Yep. Yep. So
I don't hate that.
Let me just make sure. Hold on. Let me just make sure my math is right. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hold on. No. Wait
a minute.
No, I screwed that up completely.
Oh.
No, Christian, you're alive. No lineup is alive. I'm sorry.
No.
Instead, thankfully, he's here on the line with us. No, he's not. It's worst team ever. Wow, how could I have screwed that up so bad? That was terrible. Like, it wasn't even close. I was looking at something else completely. So yeah, worst team ever put up 91.95 points this week. And so wow, that was premature on my part. Worst team ever is week 1's victim of the guillotine.
Who would have thought?
No lineup.
Who would have thought?
Don't forget, he won the survival pool. Hang the banner for WT.
Well, there will be no guillotine banner for worst team ever. So he's our first elimination.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe I screwed that up. My apologies to no lineup. That was a horrible job of podcast announcing right there.
Yeah, he wasn't even close, was he?
That wasn't even in the conversation. No. Wow. I don't know. I don't know how I did that, but that's okay. Commission's getting old. All right. So we've talked about the draft. We talked about week 1, week 2, the waiver wire, and the guillotine. And so that is it for week 1. Gentlemen, I want to thanks to Ant and Kyle for calling in and being great guests on the show. Thank you guys.
Agree.
It's a pleasure as always.
Pleasure, Commissioner. Love the new intro.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it up a little bit. I think it may change every week. We gotta see what Commish has for time. I want to thank Jordan for joining us for half the show and providing his insight.
Yeah.
Always great to hear from Soaring Eagles. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of the in and out shot that worst team ever took.
The PSA from worst team ever. Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, that was great. So, Walt, a great start to the season.
I love it.
Great to have you here in the bunker, the dungeon, whatever we're gonna call it.
Yeah,
and,
we're gonna have a good season.
Yeah, absolutely. Season 18 has begun, people.
Hey, Tony, you got a space for us when we come to the apartment?
Yeah, I'll get it warm for you right now.
Attaboy.
I love it. All right. What I don't have prepared for the week because it's early is outro music. So we're just going to leave. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us on
Thanks,
BARFF Football Podcast.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thanks, BTR.
See
See
ya.
you guys.
See ya.